and let's get into it. Matisse, you was the star of the show intro, and the first star of the weekend if you're an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, we were, weren't we? Us and our little main character syndrome strikes once again. What do you want me to start? You guys gonna cook? I don't want to dictate. I don't want to do a monologue or anything. I don't want to do that.
Shut up and tell us about the game. How about that? Yeah. Tell us about the great Chelsea, and then we'll decide what we want to do. Yeah?
Okay. I just want to get the green light before we go. Crazy result. I'm not gonna lie. I did not see that coming. To lose at home to Sunderland, who I think had maybe one win at Forest, Big Angie's Forest before this in the league. They lost at Old Trafford. They lost in other places as well. Did not expect that, especially when we took the lead. And they had the ball a bit, as you can see in the clips. I was thinking, okay, do you know what? I don't know why it's taking us time to settle ourselves at home to Sunderland, but maybe it's just a wave of the first 10, 15 minutes and they're going to leave some space in behind anyway. And we took advantage of that and we scored. And I thought, it's only onwards and upwards from here, surely. I wasn't happy with the team that he put out. I think there was two players I wanted to start. I wanted Hato to start instead of Chalobah. I wanted Esteval to start instead of Garnacho. But, I thought, maybe the manager's vindicated because Garnacho scored. I did not know that was the only thing he would do in that game. I did not know that Neto would not complete a cross. I did not know that Joao Pedro would refuse to shoot on sight and not complete a cross. We had 11 cross attempts between those three players. Zero completed crosses. Guiu up front, ironically on loan at Sunderland, wasn't their first choice striker. Played the Carabao Cup, got cup tied, then it got reversed. Happy days. He started for us up front in a Premier League game, must win game. When it didn't work out with him and he didn't get any service, we brought on the infamous Tyreek George, who was meant to go to Fulham to go up front, even though he's not a striker. So I'm sure you can tell by my tone, I'm not particularly impressed with our attack. Obviously, there's no Cole Palmer. Obviously, there's no Delap. But there's no excuses. Why is there no excuses? Because we spent a lot of money. Should have squad depth. So other teams on the panel have got a couple of injuries. Other teams in this league, like Bournemouth, who are higher flying, lost their whole defence. No excuses. Now we move to the midfield. Caicedo, shockingly, not good. Couldn't quite believe my eyes. I've been pushing the Caicedo propaganda and will continue to. He's been brilliant. He's been absolutely incredible. Player of the year last year, fantastic this season, scoring goals. I wasn't expecting heavy touches. I wasn't expecting misplaced passes. But top players can have an off day. That's why you have a squad. Other players have to step up. Other players do not step up. And Maresca, outside of the 11, he decided to sub off our best centre-back in form at the moment, or our most informed centre-back, our quickest centre-back, the guy that was having the best game out of all of our defenders. He decided to sub him off when we was playing a high line and trying to get into their box to get the winner, to leave acres of space in our own half. And he decided to sub on Tosin, who's not the quickest, not the best 1v1, not the best in open spaces and exposed. And Lord and behold, the winning goal comes from Chalobah and Tosin, chaperoning their attackers to slide it into the far corner, especially when they've made individual errors all season. So, yeah, it was just quite an incredible event, to be honest, from start to finish. I don't like our wing pairing. They spam crosses. I had the PlayStation controller in my review. The square button was spammed. There's no variation in their play. No skill moves. No weight of pass for Neto on the transition to Garnacho on a 2v1. No shots being taken by Neto. Garnacho scored, but then decided to sky one of his other shots into the crowd. Condolences to them. And yeah, just Joao Pedro went missing as well, which was a disappointment considering how excited we all were and still are about him. It's the only guy in the front line I actually trust at the moment, but he didn't play very well. So yeah, not good. Definitely done in terms of any sort of competing in the league at the top end for the league, the crown. Yeah, that's no surprise to anyone, but just thought I'd clarify. Some people didn't know. Top 4 fight. Yeah, that's what comes next. That's the only thing left. You can't really look at anything else. So that's a shame. I was hoping for more, but I don't play the games. I just watch them. So, yes.
No, you predict too. You do that as well.
Yeah, I do predict, and you know what? Shame on me. But I must say I don't like this predicting before the window closes. I don't enjoy it. I've always hated it. Every year I seem to find myself in this same similar state where my predictions are going left, and it's because the window hasn't closed and we've ended the window with players that I didn't want, and we didn't get players that I thought would propel us and improve us, and then things change. But
you're right.
The game is the game.
Things do change. Things do change, and fortunately, this is when Turkish isn't taking the piss out of me and mugging me off for my winnings and the predictions. This is a fair establishment. And you know what happened? When the window closed, we had an opportunity to make 3 changes to our predictions. Did you move Chelsea from second, Matisse, after signing Garnacho? No, you didn't. You kept Chelsea second. Yes or no?
I can't remember.
No, I remember you kept Chelsea second. You said, I'm not dropping the standard. We have to challenge for the title. I said, no, brother.
We still do.
I said, no, brother. This is not a team that's equipped to challenge for the title. I said, this is a team that's equipped to finish in the top 4. Maybe push for third at most. You said, no, Tobes. You're wrong. Aim for second. You don't watch Chelsea anyway. That's what you said. You don't watch Chelsea anyway. I'll have you know, I've watched your last 3 Premier League games. I've watched every single minute of your last 3 Premier League games. And guess what? You were absolutely dog shit against Nottingham Forest. Only God knows how you won that game 3-0. That was a fake result. You did not deserve to win that game of football. But guess what? You turned it on for 5 minutes in the second half and you were clinical. I watched you against Sunderland and you were absolutely dog shit. Sunderland were the better side. I don't care how much of the ball you had. Sunderland were the better side. They played the better football. They moved the ball better. They caused you more problems in the first half than you caused them. Your amazing midfield, Granit Xhaka came to your ground and he put in a fantastic performance. Lafitte had a good game as well. Taubi came on and he was getting his game off too. Isidore was getting his game off. Yeah? The great Chelsea, you told me, oh, he doesn't watch Chelsea. Well, I'm watching. My eyes are open. And what I'm seeing in front of me is a far cry from what I saw against Liverpool. Against Liverpool, I was so complimentary of you. You played good football in the midst of injuries. Like, you played well. The manager set you up well. The substitutions were on point. Everything was cooking. But since then, you've actually been shocking in the league. You've been shocking. You've been so bad. That Nottingham Forest, I'll say it again, 3-0, fake result. You didn't even play well after you went 2-0 up. They were still creating chances. And then Sunderland. I was tuned into your watch-along. Glorious. I was tuned into the watch-along. And you know what was so sweet? You know what made that goal so sweet? Guess who it was, guys, that they blammed in the tackle before they punted the ball upfield to Brian Bobby? Guess. Anyone want to guess?
Who they won the ball off?
Who they won the ball off? Guess who they won the ball off?
Caicedo?
The Brazilian wonder kid, Esteval.
Oh.
Oi.
The Brazilian wonder kid, Esteval. He was dribbling into the box. Blam! Clean tackle. Put him on the ground. And then they hoofed it all the way up to Brian Bobby. And
that was anticlimactic.
The rest was history. The rest was history. Glorious.
I thought you were gonna say like Reece James or Caicedo.
Glorious.
Didn't think you were gonna go and pick on an 18-year-old, but anyway.
I am. And I like Esteval. I like Esteval, but you know what?
Whilst Mikey Moore's kicking ball in SPL playing St. Mirren, but anyway.
There you go. I got what I want.
I had to skip out when I heard Matisse end his segment by saying, he hates making predictions when the transfer window's still open. And as I walked away, I heard Tobes slightly addressing it, and I think Matisse needed confirmation of facts. So the 3 changes Matisse made when given the chance after deadline day has passed. I repeat, deadline day has passed. He changed his Young Player of the Year candidate from Palmer to Esteval. he decided to give the golden boot from Haaland to Isak.
Wow, we were so high.
And he did make a change in the table. He decided to move Man City from 3rd with Arsenal in 4th and leave Chelsea in 2nd.
Wow.
What was that about the transfer window predictions? And
I went down the path of standards I couldn't come back from. What can I say?
Hey,
Hey, talk to me about Joao Pedro, bro. I've heard he's not had a shot in a gazillion minutes, bro. What's going on there?
Bro, when we check,
10.
when we that's exactly right. Play him in the 10. Exactly.
Play him in the 10.
That's why we're so disappointed. I'm so disappointed because he played in the 10. I don't think in all of these games that he didn't have a shot. He was poor. Obviously, there's a lot of context with the 10 men not getting service and you having to play up at Old Trafford in the half on your own. But in some of these games, you should be getting shots off. This is not the first, but this is the main game where the disappointment is because you're playing, in my opinion, your best position. And you didn't take the game by the scruff of the neck, or you didn't get involved enough and dictate. Obviously, yes, there's a back 5 and a 4 and it's compact, but this is the setup you have to come up against. You got to do something. And when we was looking at the pie charts and we was looking at the diagrams in the summer, the shot volume when he signed was low. And I said, I don't know why it's so low, because he's not a bad shooter. And I think he showed that in the Club World Cup. He's a really good shooter. He shoots very cleanly. But for some reason, he just does not pull the trigger often enough. It's almost like a Jadon Sancho 2.0 right now, the shot volume. So I don't know what's going on there, but he never had a record or an evidence prior to joining us of banging in 20. I remember Turkish trying to reel me into the 20 with Gyökeres. I said, let me just stop right now before I get myself into further trouble, because he's just a good footballer. That's one thing I do maintain and stand on. He's a very good footballer. Is he going to get us 20 goals? Is he going to spearhead the attack the way we wanted?
The energy about Pedro has changed so much.
Disappointing. Very disappointing. It's very disappointing.
Remember him saying in the summer, he's like, I like Pedro.
I do like Pedro.
He brings, and now it's like...
I do like Pedro. I still like Pedro. Pedro is one of the few attackers that I actually like in the team. But...
he's just not a striker, is he, man? He's not a striker, man.
Right, he's not doing well enough. He's not doing well enough. Can we say?
We knew this before he signed. He's a good player, but he's not clinical. This is a guy who had never scored more than 5 non-penalty goals at Brighton. He had never scored more than 5 non-penalty goals at Brighton in a single Premier League campaign. So why did we think all of a sudden, in fact, not we, why did you and
he was moving mad? He was
a certain part of your fan base think all of a sudden, oh, because he's wearing Chelsea and he's scoring all these goals in the World Club Cup, that all of a sudden he's just become a different player.
He dunked. What can I say?
I know. I was going to say that voice is killing me.
He dinked Donnarumma. He dinked Donnarumma in the final. You know what I mean? I think he scored against West Ham. He was scoring goals. And when you're seeing someone after having Jackson and his shooting technique, and having Gu, who is just, should be out on loan, and having Tyreek George, who's actually a good shooter, but he's not a striker. You see someone lob Donnarumma, and you see them score against, Flamengo, whoever it was, and West Ham, and he's just racking up goals. Bro, you're going to be excited that someone can finally shoot, I don't think there's many strikers on this panel that are in form, so let's slow down with the slander, because if I go check the charts now, I don't think it's going to look too good for most of your guys, apart from Steve. So let's all slow down. Let's all slow right down. No. You should care.
Most of our guys aren't meant. Most of our guys didn't have the overgas that you put on your striker. I didn't come here telling you Richarlison.
Oh, Turkish didn't gas Gyökeres. You didn't gas Richarlison when he signed.
When he signed
initially. Oh, okay. No. So when Richarlison signed, you didn't gas him. Okay, that's.
I did, and you.
Isak over there. Isak over there, Grizz. You want to smile? Yeah, Saeed don't even rate Sesko. He's Tesco. All of you slow it right down. All of you slow it right down. Slow it right down when it comes to the strikers. When it comes to the strikers, slow it right down. Solanke last season, how many goals did he score? Slow it right down. Yeah,
more non-penalty goals than Joao Pedro. I'll tell you that.
Put your foot on the ball right now, Toby, and relax.
I'll tell you that for free. And Richarlison isn't good, and mind you, he will probably end up scoring more goals than Joao Pedro.
Well, let's wait and see. because
Oi,
he's been one of the biggest flops.
Whoa.
One of the biggest flops.
I agree,
Yeah?
bro.
So let's just slow.
more goals
let's
than
I
Joao
just
agree,
leave
Pedro.
it.
Matisse. I agree,
Wow.
Matisse. And yet, Joao Pedro has never scored more non-penalty goals in a single campaign than Richarlison has. Never. So now what?
Next
Where do we go from here?
We need to talk about that.
Let's
defense.
move on.
The two uncles at the back.
Yes,
man.
we need to
Brother,
talk about. Yes, we do.
How can you listen? You know, there's a thing for me. Yeah, Brian Brobby is one of the worst strikers. Yeah, I think we've ever seen in a long while. He is so awful, bro. Even at Ajax, he's like Lukaku regen. Yeah, brother, the way you allowed him to control, look up, see the skies of West London. You get it, and then be able to pass to, I think it's called Talby or something like that. And then just curl it around, bro. I swear now, them two there, brother, they are so bad. I don't know why they brought off Josh. Maybe it's because they want to protect him. Long season. I don't get it. But brother, them two there, bro, it is Chuckle Brothers, bro. Chuckle Brothers. It is so bad. And that area in the summer, how you never addressed it. And you bought, and listen, we are repeating ourselves. Garnacho, thank you very much. How dare you do that celebration at 1-0, bro? Who the fuck you are, man?
And it was him and Pedro Neto together sitting there.
And listen, you up to that guy, the Chelsea fan TV. You need to go watch that interview about Garnacho.
Is it the Garnacho one?
Yeah, the Garnacho one.
I hate his blonde hair.
Brother, Gittins. Meow. Brother, he's rubbish. I'm telling you, every time I see that Gittins, I just say meow. Just so soft and just, he's not gonna do anything, bro. What's he gonna do? He ain't gonna do shit,
What's
bro.
he gonna do? Meow.
What's he gonna do, bro? He's 45 million. Gushing rubbish, garbage, bro. And I'm like, you couldn't spend that money on a half-decent cinema. How is the future? Right now, not ready. Bro, buy a centre back, bro. Someone.
But you know, Saeed, you know what?
So
We say he's not ready, but he came on against Liverpool. He played well. Achimpong was playing well that game.
Who played well?
Hato, when he came on against Liverpool.
I agree. He should have started Hato from the get-go. He's a left footer. The build-up would have been better anyway. Chalobah's mad rigid. And Chalobah's been awful this season. Chalobah and Tosin have been absolutely awful. Whether it's Man United losing the header against Sesko, whether it's Bayern Munich getting cut up by Kane, whether it's Fulham at home conceding the goal that was offside, but he got twist up again, Tosin. This game, countless games, I could reel them off. There's more. These two have been so bad. And what irks me even more is at the back end of last season, this team defensively and in the Club World Cup was so on point defensively. Yeah. And since this Premier League season started, this defense has been so shambolic. Red cards, stupid decision-making, rash, errors, all over the place. And now the guys that look the most competent are Colwell, who's injured for the season, Cobham, free, Josh Achimpong, Cobham, free, and Hato, who's 19. And again, I can't even say, because he's not had a run of games for me to say that he's one of the best. But just because he's not playing, he's better than the other two. The facts of the matter is with Tosin and Chalobah, they could easily line up for Fulham or Crystal Palace and you would not bat an eyelid. If Pedro Neto and Garnacho were running to their heart's content and whipping in and spamming the X button, the cross button, the square button, for mid-table teams, you would not bat an eyelid. If Guy was still on loan at Sunderland and whether he's coming off the bench, you would not bat an eyelid. Tyreek George at Fulham, not bat an eyelid. There's too many players around the couple of top players that we have that could easily go and play for mid-table teams and no one would complain. No one would be shocked. That's for me. Obviously, it's a quality thing. The manager, he's having his errors, but it's, the quality for me is there's not a big enough differential sometimes. But, bruh, what can we do? What can we do? We have to wait for Delap to come back, Palmer to come back. There's a few others as well. Badiashile, I give up at this point with the injuries for Fana. I don't know where he is. Lavia.
Wow.
He played well. He was brilliant against Liverpool. He's brilliant against Benfica, but he's always injured. He's always injured. But that's what it is.
Yeah, I know.
And we talk about recruitment, and I'm here. I'm sure Robert is listening. But this is why the sporting directors to get a new contract in that summer. Buonanotte, we haven't even spoke about him. Where was he? Is he fit? Is he going to play?
I don't
Premier League. He's on loan from Brighton. He doesn't come on. Can't contribute against the low blocks. He's meant to be one of the 10s. This is the 10 that we decided to go with after failing to bid for the others. Bro, it's all over the shop, man. All over the shop.
Neto and Garnacho, they're literally like Neto is obviously much better than Garnacho, but Neto is such a deterrent to Chelsea. He's so one-dimensional. He's so wedded to his left foot. There was a moment in that second half where they were on the counter-attack, and it was inexplicably poor defending from Sunderland. The defender he can see the ball. He's not gone to it. And he's let Neto get it. And now it's a 2v1. All Neto has to do is just play a simple pass to Garnacho. And Garnacho is literally clean through on goal. And he just underhits the pass.
Yeah.
And that is textbook Neto, Garnetto. That's what they're calling them, Garnetto. That's textbook Garnetto. These man, they underhit passes, they overhit crosses. If it's Garnacho's case, Garnacho barely creates separation. I was so shocked he scored that goal because I'm like, it felt like it was a good goal.
It was a counter.
I thought the goalkeeping wasn't good. And then I felt like the defending, I'm like, if you've watched Garnacho, all you need to do is just stay touch tight. He's not going to be able to separate properly. But the defender gave him so much space to get his game off.
But I said in the summer, he's a counter-attacking winger, right? Go and play for Nottingham Forest under Nuno and go and run into space. When we're up against a back five with a 4 in front, you need quality. You need quality. You need to be able to dribble. You need to be able to pass. Why have we got 2 wingers that have like a 20-25% dribbling success rate as touchline wingers, so they're isolated? The manager doesn't overload the fullbacks. He doesn't provide any support. You're asking wingers that are not good at dribbling to go 1v1 in this system to create, because that is where the separation is. That's where we're going. We're going out wide and we're going to the touchline and we're trying to create from there. Why profile stylistically do you go with these two? And I was told over the summer, we need Garnacho because he runs in behind and the off the ball movement and he works hard. And I'm like, give me some attributes, give me some quality. No, no one can say a word. Just shit show. Absolutely. I want him sold already. On God. I always give people 12 months. I try and give them 12 months to 2 years. No. I can support him.
He needs you, man. He needs your support.
Saeed, Turkish, can you mute this guy? Because he's a troll.
Right? No, but it's true though. He needs your support, bro.
I will support him in the 90 minutes.
He's a young player.
But I do not rate this guy. I do not rate this player. He is not good. He is not a good winger. This is exactly what Tobes is always arguing and complaining about with Brennan Johnson. They score a goal. Oh, the GA.
I respect Brennan Johnson, man.
And the general play is so damn stinky. It's insane. You already had Neto. You're a hard worker. You're off the ball runner. You're really weird dribbler. You're box crasher, if that's the trait that he needs to bring into his game. The crossing, which is, by the way, even overstated. Neto's crossing is sometimes maybe good, sometimes extremely shit. Overcooking the cross, overcooking the crosses all the time, right? So you've already got one technically very kind of wishy-washy winger. You've just signed Gittins. Come on now.
Thank you very much.
This Garnacho guy would not start for Bournemouth on that left with Semenyo. He would not start for Everton with Ndiaye and Grealish. He would not start for so many teams. It's not even funny. He's off the bench. That is what Man United fans portrayed him to be. You bring him off the bench when there's a bit of space, when the game's opened up against tired legs, and you might just get something. Decision making, quality in the final third, it's just all over the shop. And it sounds like I'm getting on to only him.
Oh, no, I can't lie to you, man. You need to allow Garnacho because at the end of the day,
I don't need to allow shit. I don't need to allow nothing.
No, but you know what it is, bro? You need to focus on others, man. The bigger guys.
I've already spoken about the centre-backs. I've spoken about the centre-backs.
Don't say focus on others because they knew the mandate in the summer. They already sunk 40-something million into Gittins, right? So they had already committed money into a young up-and-coming winger. They knew the mandate was to go and get a player who is significantly better than Gittins, who can nail down the starting spot. And they went out and signed Garnacho. And when I spoke on this, when the window ended, I was met with abuse. Oh, how are you putting down this 20-something-year-old? No, he's shit. I'm sorry, he is shit. He does not do the fundamentals of what you need as a winger to a good enough standard for even Bournemouth, let alone Chelsea. He wouldn't start at Bournemouth. He wouldn't start at Bournemouth. He wouldn't start at Everton, right? He wouldn't start at Man United.
That's what
He
Matisse
wouldn't
said.
start at Liverpool. He wouldn't
What
start
I'm
at
trying to say though is he's not the reason why they lost that game.
He is
You know,
part
one
of
of
the
the
reason. He is
He's
part
one
of
of
the
the
he's
reasons.
reason.
We're
part of
talking
it.
about the attack now. We're
Yes,
not saying
he is.
No, I know.
You know
one of
why?
the reasons.
Because
I know.
the reason why I can slightly sympathize with the centre back situation, even though I've been cussing the directors, so we shouldn't have a group of centre backs that we don't trust, and the best ones are for free that you didn't purchase, right? But Dasassi's still here. Badiashile was injured over the summer. Fofana was injured, so you couldn't sell to bring in. There was no space. We've already got like 7 centre backs. We can't buy an 8th and chalk it off as, oh, we need a centre back. We have to get rid of the bad recruitment at centre back or the injury prone players at centre back to bring in another. So that means you go Brendan Rodgers, Liverpool, overkill in the attack, and you bring in quality. What is the point of getting rid of Sancho and Christopher Nkunku and Nicholas Jackson and replacing them with players that are not better? What is the point? You're literally moving sideways. And because you play Champions League football, not Conference League, and you're in 4 comps, you may even move slightly backwards. Or you're definitely going to stagnate and plateau at the bare minimum. So I am going to talk about Garnacho because that is where some of our transfer budget has been put into this summer, and it has been a complete waste of resources. And that's why I don't feel sorry for us, because we keep doing this shit. We keep signing these sideways players or these developing players. People telling me, oh, well, you know, we got to give Gittins 2 years. I already know that. I said that in the summer. But now we're already out of a title race, which we weren't really in, but I tried to put us in it because I want to be involved. It's October. It's October. And I've got to wait 2 years for someone to finish fucking developing on top of another player in the same position still developing. Whilst the senior winger, who's been here since like Wolves 2017-18 season, when I was still in uni, he's not even fucking good enough to be the senior winger. He's not Saka. So what are we doing? He's not Salah when he was playing well. So what are we doing relying on him? So now, how are we relying on the 18-year-old from Brazil who's just landed? That's our best winger. That's it. Yep. There's no debate anymore. After watching that game this weekend, he is our best winger. Yeah, we can laugh. He gave the ball away. He tried something. He is the best winger. He's the only one that can pass. He's the only one that can come into the 10 position and combine and play 1-2s. He's the only one that wants to take shots. He crashed the box against Liverpool, and he's actually got decent, he's got good dribbling. And he works hard. He actually gets back. So this is what a complete-ish profile looks like, and he's still 18, and he's got loads of developing to do. And the rest of them, they couldn't be more incomplete. There's so many holes in all their game. but 2 of them this summer cost 95 million, and the other one cost 60. So how much money is that, Saeed? Seeing as I shouldn't talk about it. How much money is that?
It's a lot of money. But what I will say,
it's a lot of money, bro.
But listen,
and the midfield as well. Enzo,
that's what I wanted to get to. Enzo, 105 million.
Wasn't good. I'm sorry. I know he had some moments, but I didn't really notice him in the large spells in that game.
How long are we going to say this about Enzo?
Brother, talk to me.
He's not been good this season. He's not been good
enough this season. He scored some goals, but
he's not been good enough in signing for Chelsea.
This is the problem. He had a good season last year, I would say.
Yeah, he had a fairly good season last year.
He had a
very good last year.
Not 105 million. Because this is Paul Pogba. You know, I mean, we'd be having conversations.
This is why you have to excuse.
No. Real talk. I'm not trying to get a conversation in there, but we can't just allow.
You're right. You're right, Saeed.
It's okay. You have the same energy, man. Them.
Yep.
Oh, we don't want to.
No, he's right. He's right. He's absolutely right.
He's looking at Stephen Grizz.
No. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying let's have a conversation. That's all. That's it.
No, I'm just saying.
But what I don't like, this ownership has gone through quite a few models in the first 5 years or however long it's been, right? Because the first model was by experienced players, big contracts.
Yeah, that was just panic. That was panic station.
Okay, it was panic. But then that kind of shows that maybe this model now maybe wasn't the plan. Maybe it's just the plan they've fallen into, right?
Nah, I wouldn't say so. I think it was always the plan for at least 75.
But then Enzo and Caicedo, 100 mil.
Look at the ages.
Yeah, but you have to. No, it's not even. You have to look at the loophole that was closed.
You're not getting much more than that, bro.
The loophole was closed. The amortizing over 10 years, right? Which is 10 million a year. That loophole closed. Since then, we've not really done a deal over 55 million, which is now 5 years. Same thing. 10 million over each year. So that is the kind of amount of money that they're willing to put into an asset or a player over a year. 10 million. When the loophole's 10 years, they'll do it there. When it's 5 years, they'll do it there. The wages are the wages. It's restricted. It's a budget. There's a cap. But they were always going to go down this road. My biggest issue with them is there is a lack of common sense. There is a lack of common sense in terms of balance. You've just signed Gittins, like Toby said. Would it kill you to go and bring in a better left winger, comfortably better than him, so you can allow Gittins to develop and Esteval to develop at their own rate? Would it kill you when Jackson, I don't know what you're doing. You're saying you want to get rid of Jackson, but then you're leaving yourself short. This ownership for the second year on the trot were ready to leave Chelsea with Delap and Joao Pedro as their only striker options this summer. The only reason why they recalled Gu is because Delap got injured. And now we're figuring out that Joao Pedro is not even a real 9. Are you having a laugh? So now what you're telling me is Chelsea were going to be tactically limited to starting Joao Pedro up front because they need a striker on the bench in Delap. They were never going to really try and play them together too much. And if they did, there would be no striker on the bench. And I was saying this all summer. We need 3 attackers, not Gu and Delap and Pedro, 3 starting quality attackers, because you can get an injury and Joao Pedro can play in the 10. He's positionally a little bit more versatile. So we can't hang our hat on just him. We should have an Ekatike coming. We should have this. We should have that. But I can't be asked, man. It's just this team are gonna finish in the top 4 or 5. They're gonna excuse it because of Champions League football and injuries. Then they're gonna rock in next summer with the same bullshit. They're gonna recall a load of 18-year-olds from Strasbourg and Sporting Lisbon. And then it's going to be exciting again with Quendo and all these guys and Penders. None of these guys are ready to spearhead us in a league title in their first season. And we're going to kick it down to 2028, 2029. And then by the time we're meant to be ready, Cole Palmer is going to be like 28 years old. Caicedo is going to be like 27 or 28. Enzo, all these guys are going to be actually in their prime. But at that point, how many league titles have the others racked up, and what's their teams looking like? So we're just,
exactly.
We're just on some nonsense, bro. People will try and gaslight and tell you that a project needs to take 6-7 years for you to win a league. It fucking doesn't. It really doesn't. You just need to not make loads of errors.
Has it been a learning curve for you?
No. I said at the end of last season when we scraped top 4 on the final day that we needed to make serious signings. And then we started the window pretty well with Delap. Everybody on the panel was pretty happy with that. 30 million, pretty snip. Joao Pedro, okay, not too sure, but you know what? He started well. And then they ended it with shit. Buonanotte, Garnacho, Guirico, and that was it. So obviously, yeah, I'm gonna say that we need to be in a title race because that's facts. We should be in a title race. You man are all gonna tell me how much money have you spent, this, that, and the third. You should be in a title race. That's exactly what I agree with. So that's why I said we have to be in a title race. We have to, but we're not.
My thing is, I don't understand some of your fans who look at this and they're happy. Like every single year, it's like they deliberately go out of their way to take themselves out of contention for the title. It doesn't make any sense. You sign one good player, then you sprinkle it with 3 mid players, 2 poor players, and then you call that a good window. And then they do the same thing again the following summer. Look at what Matisse said with the striker. Last year, Nicholas Jackson was their only out and out number 9. And it hurt them. It hurt them because he dropped out of form and then he got injured. And then they put themselves, they were literally this close to putting themselves in the same position again. And you know what? For all intents and purposes, they basically put themselves in that same position anyway. Because Gui, I know I watched him against Ajax or whatever, but let's be honest, he's nowhere near the standard. He is nowhere near the standard needed for Chelsea right now. When you look at Champions League, trying to push as high up as possible on the table, he's nowhere near the standard. So they're back to Delap and Pedro.
The problem is that they leave you enough rope to hang yourself with. This is what this ownership do. If you put Chelsea's strongest 11 out there, it's exciting. Esteval is exciting. Palmer's exciting. Joao Pedro got off to a great start. He was exciting. Caicedo, Lavio when he's fit. Santos, Enzo, James, Cucurella, Colwell. There's enough in there for you to get behind it. And there's enough in it to beat Liverpool. There's enough in it to beat PSG. There's enough in it to go and potentially get more big results in the next couple months. But in terms of consistency in this league, 38 games, when you need to rotate and you need to bring in the squad players are not good enough. The key players are, but there's like 4 or 5 of them. And the squad players are mid. And they'll have great days. Neto, second half against Nottingham Forest, he gets an assist and a goal. Matisse, why were you slandering him? Come on, Okay, cool. Sorry, my bad. Garnacho scores. Matisse, why were you? Oh, sorry, my bad. But they are not going to do it over 90 minutes most of the time, and they're not doing it consecutive. Neto, he's had like maybe 3 proper games in the Premier League this season. The rest of them is very wishy-washy. It's not good enough. You need to be 8 out of 10.
This top 4, but I don't think it's going to be as simple as what everyone thinks with Chelsea, man.
I agree. It's that 4th spot is wide open.
Yeah,
because they've made it wide open.
You better hold on to that,
Wide
boy.
open.
So let me just make myself clear. I'm not dropping below top 4. You see the standard thing that I was doing. I'm not. So if we're 10th, and you're asking me, I'm telling you 4th. If we're 9th right now, and you're asking, I'm 4th. I'm not even comprehending anything lower than that. So call me delusional. I don't give a damn. I am not having anything less than that. That is the bare minimum. That is the floor. I am not looking at 6th and 7th, and I'm not even entertaining it. You know when they talk about bad energy, bad vibes, bad juju, I'm not bringing that in here. We're not in this room here that I'm in. I'm not bringing that in. So we're not doing that. So don't ask me about Europa League this season. Don't ask me about conference. I don't care what's going on. I'm telling you, top 4. Top 4 is the bare minimum. That is it. That is it. I'm not coming out. I'm not coming out of that. I'm not coming out of that. I don't care what's going on. Don't ask me nothing else.
Cole Palmer back fit. Reece James, if you keep him fit, like you've got enough to get top 4, but it's gonna be a dogfight. Just like last season, it's gonna be a fight. And if you don't finish in the top 4, yes, I know your standard is 4th. If you don't finish in the top 4, there will be no surprises. There will be no surprises.
I'll be surprised. I'll actually be surprised.
I will not be surprised.
No,
unless we have an injury crisis all season, I will be surprised. If we have enough of the people back, nah. We're not having that. We're not having that.
As much as I'd love to continue on, because there's a bit more I'd like to delve into. There's a lot more we need to delve into across the show.